This is Logical MGTOW Spock, and today I'm going to be talking about possibly a number of topics here. One that got to my attention today as I woke up this morning, or I should say no, this afternoon, is that women think that they are the prize. They're not. It doesn't go logically where who has the pussy? Whoever has the pussy is the prize. No, it logically is that who spends the money is the prize. And more often than not, in relationships, dating, and marriage, the man ends up doing the most spending. In the same aspect is that women expect us to spend money on them like I've said before. Women think that in order for a man to spend time with them, they have to spend the money on the woman, more on the woman than on the man himself. That is not logical. That is not realistic. That is not very considerate either. And it is more one-sided. And relationships as well as marriage are not one-sided. Where one person is considered more than the other. In a spiritual aspect, when it comes to marriage, from the very beginning of time. Hold on one second. In a spiritual aspect, and I know that it wouldn't say this in the Bible, but in a spiritual aspect, it's the wear. And yes, I'm wearing my thermal pants because it does get a little cold at times. Anyway, anyway, the in a spiritual aspect, marriage has always been where it's about the man and the woman equally. Yet, yet women have treated marriage as if they matter more than the man does. The man, and you see it on TV shows, sitcoms essentially, to where the woman gets her way more than the man gets his way. Where the woman is like father knows best versus the man on this. You've seen that in many '90s programs like Home Improvement, um, according to Jim. But of course, between the two, to start with, um, they always go to points of getting what they want, and yet the woman doesn't like it. Like for example, when Tim the Toolman Taylor wanted to wanted to do something with their sons. Um, while I went on a trip to a wedding, they were able to do something like water ski, dirt biking, fishing. But then right when Jill goes into doing it, she ends up getting hurt and tries to blame him for it. When really it's her own fault. She's the one that said, "We'll go back when I say," type of thing. That puts it to the points to where it's the woman's fault, not the man's. Yes, I know feminist women are going to say, "Well, isn't it the man to make sure that the woman doesn't get hurt?" Hello, he was doing that. But at the same time, women get too insistent to do things when they want to, and yet when and if something happens that they don't even expect to have happen, they always try to blame us men. It's always been to where it's the man's fault for the divorce. It's always been where it's the man's fault for why they cheat, why the woman cheats essentially. It's the man's fault for why women do things behind the man's back, even that's against the Bible itself. It's the man's fault for not being there when the woman expects him to be, even though he's working to make a living for both of them. Last night I heard a Tom Likas video, and it rang true. A woman even actually said on the Tom Likas show, and yet she was one of the callers. Okay, that women expect that women are too generally too focused on career versus family. What they want, outside the aspect of family. Yet, what ends up happening, and we men know it. They end up they end up having the child or children essentially that, and then they want to go back into the career base and expect the man to um basically set things to where both of them are working and the children are being watched by strangers or even neighbors or family members or grandparents. Now, I'm not saying that women don't have a right to work, and I'm not saying men don't have a right to work either. But the basic fact is that women, if you want to have a child, and if it's one of your, shall we say, wants to have a family of your own, then you got to choose family in the sense of raising a child or children, or being single and only having a career and making your own money. Because even when a woman is working, who's the who's the one that spends the most? It ain't the woman. It's been shown time and time and time and time and time and time and time again that even in a marriage, and even if both genders are working, and if they have a family of their own, if both genders are working, the end result is always and always has been where the man spends the most and the woman spends very little, if any, even moderately, a moderate percentage, if that, but mostly on herself as well as the children. Yet the man's also spending on the children, spending money on the children, and groceries and gas and insurance and bills. So, ladies, with that, you even with the fact that you have a pussy, a vagina, a vajayjay, what you call to be the golden goose of why men are with you. It stands to reason that men spend more than you women do. In fact, you make sure it happens that way. Not very many women are even open to doing what's known as Dutch, where they spend money on them and he spends money on him. But I know what the end result would be on that one. She'd only spend so much and then say that she's out of money, and she may not be really, and expect the guy to spend money on her. As if they were to go Dutch only so far. But yet the man would still be in the aspect of where he's expected to spend his money on her, even though they started going out together in the aspect of going Dutch. Again, where she spends money on her and he spends money on him. But somewhere along the line, that the woman would say that she's out of money and show it, if that. But yet she could easily have money somewhere else, like in her bra, panties, what, or sock, or nylon, various areas that men can't hide things, women can hide things. Yet, without even thinking about that, the man ends up spending more of his money on her even after going Dutch. Even with the thought it was going to be a going Dutch night. of a date. Women have the ways of doing that. I'm not saying if it's been done because I only could say there's a general more than a possibility it could have for a certain number of the population of the two genders it could have easily been done that way. But the end result is always the guy spends more on her. Therefore, the man is the prize, ladies, not you. Yes, women have the boobs, the breasts, the honkers, the bouncing melons. That's the word. And yes, they have the JJ, the golden, the what they consider the golden goose, the or what even MGTOW says the golden vagina, the you know the reason why men are with women type of shit, which is a illogical, sinful way to put it. The basic fact is, you women are not the prize. We men are the prize. We men are the ones that end up spending money, more money than you women, on the date, the relationship, when we go out with you women, and you still think that you're the prize. With that, you're wrong. If the man is the one that spends the money, the man is the prize. It would be that way if the woman spent the most money, but she doesn't. Even in society's aspect, it's still believed that the woman shouldn't have to spend the money, even on herself, even though when she's not with a man, she does spend the money on herself. And yet women consider themselves independent. Even if they were living with mommy and daddy, I can guarantee you more often than not that the woman, be that the 20-year-old woman, the late teens woman, ends up really spending their parents' money on the teen female and 20-year-old female. It's not so much the woman spending her own money on her. It may be that when it comes to the things that she feels that she needs to get, yeah. But if this is things that she really wants, she doesn't spend the money. She expects to find a man that will do it for her and get the things for her. And yet at the same time, the woman thinks just because of a particular organ that they have in between their legs versus the man, that women think that they are the prize. No. With conclusive proof And it happens day in and day out, every year, every month, every decade, practically. The man spends more on the woman than on himself, on dates, relationships, even when they're going steady. In marriages, whether they do or do not have children, the man spends the most. So, in all aspects, the man is the prize, the woman isn't. The man is the one that works the hardest to be able to survive for himself as well as for the wife or the to in order to have a girlfriend or fiance, be that going on a date, doing things with a woman. The women don't work that hard unless they're single mothers. And yet, even single mothers, I can honestly say that single mothers do have it harder than, and they don't like it, but they deal with it. Yet, right when they are dating, they want the guy to spend more on her and her child when it's not his responsibility to spend money on the child. It's her responsibility to spend money on the child. So therefore, that again shows the man spends more. Even if the woman had more than one child, same difference. However many the woman has of the children, it's still the same difference. The man spends more. So, ladies, in all aspects, the man. Hold on one second. Again, sorry about that. In all aspects, the man spends the most, which means you women are not the prize. And no, again, it doesn't go by who has the most wanted genitalia or who has the most wanted parts to on the human body, the man or the woman. It doesn't go like that. I know that women want it to go that way, but it doesn't. It goes to who has spent the most money on the two, who spends the most money on the added two or three, or even five, who spends the most money when it comes to having friends go out on outings with the man and the woman. The man does. So, ladies, with the aspect of reality versus want and an actual aspect of known thought. It is, without a doubt, proof that the man is the price, is the prize. He is the male is the prize. The man, the man is responsible for you women in marriage instead of you being responsible for yourself even in marriage, and you taking responsibility for your own actions, in which more often than not you don't, and you refuse to. And the man is ultimately the breadwinner, regardless of even if the woman does work. He ends up spending more on the family aspects of things anyway. Even on trips, even on vacations with a woman, the man spends the most. Even on cruises, the man spends the most. Even while going over to see family from across country or on the other side of the globe, this man spends the most, if not the entire cost of the whole damn thing on each and every one of those things that I mentioned. So, in with that, even now, MGTOW men, as well as men that are not MGTOW, even yet, men that are blue pilled simps, mangina subservient, pussy whipped. They know that they are the only ones to spend the most money more on the woman than on themselves. And yet, women, you want to still think that you're the prize. You're not. It's not about this. It's not about in between your legs. Mm-mm. You women put yourselves in debt. We don't do that deliberately. We don't do that even deliberately. We men don't do that even deliberately. Yet you women expect us to be with you and help you pay off your debts, your credit card debts mostly. You know, there was a um, there's a thing where it says right here from Crystal Wallen and she says this: as I started to realize my ex Barry never loved me, and he did a lot of nasty thinks he hit yeah, and he did a lot nasty things, hit me, treat me like I'm a playboy, and played with my heart like it was a sick joke. I deserve to be better with a yeah. See, I deserve to be with a better, loving, caring person who loves me for who I am. Interesting. This one woman known as Krista Wallen. Krista Wallen. I saw that post via in from what one of my friends posted on one of his story things of Facebook Messenger, and I'm not going to say his name because I respect him. Women always want to be considered to where they should be respected and loved and all this other stuff, right? And they should be the ones to be accepted and respected for who and how they are. Yet, yet, the woman always goes to the points of saying, even to us men, that they will accept us for who and how we are. Yet at the same time, yet at the same time, they try to change us, men. That was my phone. And when you women do that, you still want us men to believe that we accept you for who and how we are. even as women try to change us men. If a woman wants to try to change us men, logically and realistically, shows and tells, and it should tell every man practically, and if the man really pays attention, and the men should start paying attention, that if a woman tries to change the way he is, the way he responds to things, the way he reacts to things, the way he goes about things, even for him, for his own well-being, that you women try to change him, that he should like open up, voice and express your feelings. In other aspects, it also shows that the women are judging us men as if we don't know how to do that when we feel it's appropriate to. That also goes against the Bible, as well as the aspect of negatively assuming things of us men also goes against the Bible. So, ladies, either accept us for who and how we are, quit trying to change us, even secretly, even in the most underhanded, sinful actions and judgmental ways, and claim that you still love us and care about us, but yet your objective is still to try to change us. With that, you cannot say that you love a person, ladies, if you're one of your objectives, even in a relationship with us men, is to try to change us from the from the way we are and what attracted you to us to something completely opposite. And then guess what happens? You women leave us, men, don't you? That is when and if we allow you to change us, men, you automatically turn tail and head stage right or stage left, and then try to find what you consider to be a real man. But for a time, women have considered us men to be real men, and then they go to the points of changing us, thinking that they'd be even happier by with that even after doing that objective. Women are never happy, even after doing that. Women think that they can solve things for the better, even as they try to change us men. We don't try to change you women, so it is not logical for women to try to change us men. Even from what attracted the woman to us, they ultimately change in the whole entire aspect of trying to change us men. And they don't realize it. Yes, I know they will deny it. So, ladies, all in all, you're in the wrong. We're not in the wrong on that. You're not the prize, ladies. We are the prize. We spend the most money on you as well as ourselves. Hell, even more on you than we do on ourselves. More on you and the children more than we do on ourselves. When it comes to the marriage aspect, we spend more on the responsibilities more than we do on ourselves. We spend it on our responsibilities and you women and the children, if we have any children with you. The end result has always been also, if the woman is not happy or claims to be not happy and tries to blame us men, they put us through the divorce proceedings. And they go to the points to where the man pays more in that aspect, even in the aspect of child support, as well as alimony at times. So even the feminists and Me Too women should realize this, that women have never been the prize. Because being the prize does not consist of genitalia. It doesn't consist of the woman's beauty or even anything else for that matter. But it does consist of the fact that many men will go after women that are thin, petite, and even slender, not fat and fugly. Only the fat and fugly ones will go to the ones that are also fat and fugly. But even the fat and fugly ones will try to also reach for the ones that are slender or petite type women, and that's also a truth. So all in all, ladies, feminist females, even Chloe Sunderland needs to realize this. You women are not and will never be the prize, because you women will not choose to spend the more on the date aspect as well as the marriage aspect. Yes, there are women out there nowadays that may make more than some men, even the ones that they are with. But even then, unless they're single mothers, unless they become single mothers, then, but say before they become single mothers, the man spends the most. You cannot deny that, ladies. No matter how much you try, you cannot deny that. The man spends the most on dating, the relationship situation, when they go out, when we take you out to places, ladies. When we get married to you, we spend more. When we are in a relationship, we spend more, even on our own responsibilities. When it comes to what we would normally be paying anyways, which is bills, groceries, and all that. But the added fact is that we be spending the groceries to where you're able to eat, as well as our own children are able to eat, clothing, and other expenses. So, ladies, quit deluding yourselves. Quit more than kidding yourselves. It's us men who spend the most money. It's us men who are the actual prize. Get with that and realize it, and learn to accept it. But also, ladies, we MGTOW men will not go to the points to where you nag us to death, practically. We will not go back to you women to where you think that you have the upper hand when you really don't. Because the one that really has the upper hand is the one that spends the most on the date, on the relationship, and on the marriage, which is ultimately the man. And which also includes the man is the one that spends the most even on the child or children. If the woman does contribute, yeah, that's all accepted and well and good and all that, but the end result doesn't stop being where the man is the one that spends the most, and yet the woman makes sure of that, where if she has to spend any amount, that it's not very much, to where she can spend more on herself. And I know women will say, "Well, we deserve that," and I'm like, "Yeah, we deserve to spend money on ourselves as well, ladies." But the way the reality ball bounces, and the responsibility ball bounces and has bounced, that we take care of our responsibilities before we get things for ourselves. We do that even as single men. We have done that even while dating you, feminist women. Even before the feminist movement came to show its ugly, illogical, sinful head, and I'm talking metaphorically now. So, ladies, don't be so illogical, and don't think that you're the prize, because you're not. Do not think that you're the prize because you have what you feel that men only want you for. That doesn't show that you're the prize. It's the fact that you women expect us men to spend more money on you than we do on ourselves, in the aspect of dating, and out, even in the addition of responsibilities in marriage, as well as when we have a family with you. So logically, we men are the prize. You women are not. This is logical MGTOW Spock. And, ladies, When this one woman talked about one who wants to be accepted and loved for who and how she is, as I read, you need to learn to do that same thing for us men. Don't expect it to only be done for you, because it's not one that even in itself is not one-sided. This is logical MGTOW Spock. Men, stay strong, stay self-assured, self-confident, stay single, have faith and belief in yourself. Men, like I said, stay single as well. Do not fall into the points of depression. And if you do, you and I can talk, men, on the Logical MGTOW page on Facebook. And men, stay free from feminism and the manipulation of women that women do. Stay free from that. Be your own person, men. You can do it, and don't fall into the points of self-doubt. Even though I know things are easier said than done, I understand that. But men, if you believe in yourself and have faith in yourself, there's not anything you would not be able to do that's positive and helpful to and for yourself to start with. That doesn't go against harming another. And that doesn't go to the points of harming yourself. Stay strong and live a long, happy life, men. Seriously. For it is that Heavenly Father wants the best for both genders, granted, yes. But you alone, men, should want the best for you. And going to the best for you, men, it does not consist of harming another or doing another person in, regardless of the gender. And it doesn't consist of killing others either. Women think that they are justified for the things that they do, even to us men, they're not. Women think that they are vindicated even for doing us men wrong, they're not. They need to wake up and realize that, men. And I know ladies are probably watching this video, even as I said that, and it will never stop being true. And yes, I know women will deny that they do that. But like I said, men, stay strong, stay self-assured, self-confident, and have faith and belief and trust and much more within yourself that's positive in the emotional aspect. Stay strong, stay MGTOW for life, brothers. Even the men that are not MGTOW, you are still MGTOW brothers, as long as you stay free from the feminist woman.